Tzadikim are megalatos that every year HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mashpia a brand new Ner Chanukah, a brand new Lamed Vav Neiros, comprised of the 36 times it says Oir in Torah Shebaksav and the Lamed Vav Masechtas of Torah Shebal Peh. And of course, the Lamed Vav hours, which the Oyer Ganas is Meshamish, the first, actually the second half of Yom Shishi, Yemei HaBriya, and the Heilige Shabbos Kodesh, 24 hours together makes 36. This every year, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, B'B'chinas Moshe V'Hoilech, gives us this. He also gives us a B'china of Beis HaMikdash, a bechina of cham libi bekirbi, the eish hamechamim, the eish of be'eish ata osid livnoisa. Because Baruch Hu gives us a whisper in our ears, 24 heilige days of Kislev, Belachash Baruch Shem Kavoid Malchusa Liolam Va'ed. And then on the 25th day of Kislev, we get a gilui of the Heilige Yichud of Hashem, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, 25 letters. And our neshamas flacker up, mamush, with the koyach of Beis HaMikdash, with the koyach of what Avram Avinu, who is Megala to us, the shoyrish of Chanukah, Chanuch Hei, is Vani Vanar Melcha Ad Koi, and Koi Yezarecha. Koi Yezarecha is a bechina of Lamala Mikippas Arakia. HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings us up to a place, Lamala Mikippas Arakia, to a place of Nisim where the Bechin of every Yid, every single Yid, is living constantly with Nisim. Everything is a Nes. Just as a sidebar, Chazal and Megalatas, and all the questions of the Bes Yosef, all the answers of the Kash of the Bes Yosef, why do we light 8 nights? We really should light 7 nights. After all, one night they had oil for. So there are many, and it's probably the most asked and answered question in all of Chazal. But Kor Yezerach is megala to us that everything is a nes. The fact that we had 1 Pach Shemen was itself a nes, and Mela it's 8. And the second Bechina, of course, is the Bechina of Vani Vanar Neilcha Ad Koi. The Mesiras Nefesh that Klal Yisrael lives with, the Heilige Akedah, and everything that it brought Avram, and he brought Yitzchak on the Mizbeach, and this left us as a nation, Am Moisrei Nefesh LaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's an amazing story that begins circa 2 years after the Milchum, after the war. The Yid lands on the shores of Eretz Yisrael after being through the hell of the Shoah. And all he knows is that he wants to run away from Hashem. That's his main goal. He finds himself a Cholaini town, and in this town he finds a Cholaini woman who had a similar upbringing of Shomer Torah mitzvahs. And they get married and they make a pact. No God in this house. Anyway, they built a family. We're in the process of building a family, and the father couldn't control himself. It was going to be the bar mitzvah of his oldest son. He didn't say bar mitzvah, he says, next week it's going to be your 13th birthday, and it's a very big birthday. I want to buy you something. So let's go to the shuk. And they went to the shuk, and his father's trying to show him nice clothing and nice electronics, and he just keeps walking and walking, and he stops in front of a Judaica store with a beautiful menorah made out of wood chips and welded steel. He says, Abba, this is what I want. This is what I have to have. I said, why do you need this? Let me buy you something nice that you'll use. What's this? And of course his neshama couldn't rest. He says, no, we have to go in, Abba, we got to buy it right now. And he went in and he asks the shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper says, that menorah? It's not for sale. That's my identity. I leave it in the window. People know who I am from this. I bought this right after the war from an antique dealer. It's not for sale. And the kid is banging on his father's back. Abba, offer him a lot of money. We have to have it. And back and forth, finally they make a deal. He takes this menorah home and he cherishes it, he polishes it, and he rubs the wood that it should be looking beautiful. And then he finds out there's a Yom Tov that Jews have around this menorah that he has in his house. And it's so exciting, he's going to get lights and candles. And he takes it down from the shelf, and as he's taking it down, it falls out of his hands, and it slips and it breaks. And now he's inconsolable, he's crying, he's hysterical. What am I going to do? His father gets on the floor with him. He says, we'll find a welder, we'll find somebody, the woodworker, we'll get it going. No, Abba, you don't understand. I love this menorah. And as they're picking up the pieces, out of one of the kanei menorah falls out a little slip of paper. And the father picks it up and he begins to read. He says, I'm writing this note circa 1943 in the hellfire of Auschwitz. And it's going to be Hanukkah soon, and we're doing our best to steal a little margarine here, a little oil there, to whatever we can gather up to use. But I work in the woodworking place, and I'm going to do something special. I'm going to find a way to make a menorah even in this hell. He says, and I don't know whether I'll even live to use this menorah. I certainly don't even know whether I'll live to take this menorah out with me. But what I do know is I'm going to be moiser nefesh, as my father and grandfather and my generations back were moiser nefesh Hashem, to do this mitzvah behiddur. To do this mitzvah with all of the serious nefesh that's involved right here. He says, and I hope if I don't make it out and somebody else winds up with this menorah, they'll be inspired to let their neshama flocker up. And with this, the father reads the name and passes out. You revive him and he passes out again. And finally, the third time, he says, that was my father writing to me and to you from the hell of Auschwitz. Needless to say, he got the message, and he did make it to Yerushalayim HaKodesh and build a Torah house. The Heilige Yom Tov of Chanukah, the little Lechtorah of Chanukah. It's appropriate that we read the Parshas HaNesiyim on the Heilige Yom Tov of Chanukah. It's a beginning of being Mamshech Beis HaMikdash into our own house. To the point so much that Aaron HaKohen, who saw this, he felt this Chanukas HaMishkan. He says, I want to be a part of it. Rebbeinu Shalom, Chol Shadatoi, Rashi says, Chol Shadatoi. He mamish felt like he was missing out on something. His Baruch Hu says, don't worry. Shalcha Gedolim Shalahem. Yours, what I'm going to give you is bigger than theirs. You're meitiv umadlik hasaneres. You're going to light the neres in the Beis HaMikdash. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu finishes with Shalcha le'olam kayemes. Yours will last forever, and all the Rishonim jump all over this. What do you mean it's going to last forever? We know Hadlakas haneres in the Beis HaMikdash takes place when there's a Beis HaMikdash. And when there's no Beis HaMikdash, it doesn't take place. What's Shalcha le'olam kayemes? And the Heilige Ramban addresses this question. He says, because Baruch Hu promised Aharon HaKohen over here, he promised him the Heilige Oir of Chanukah, which is Le'olam Kayemes. We know David HaMelech in Tehillim writes, Arachti Ner LeMashichi, and Chazal Darshan, this is the Heilige Yom Tov of Chanukah, the Ner LeMashichi, the final Ner that's going to take us. We know we didn't get another Yom Tov. 2,200 years ago we got Hanukkah, and now we got the same Hanukkah that's going to bring us to Mashiach. We know there are 192 hours in the Heilige Yom Tov of Hanukkah, 24 times 8 days, 24 hours times 8 days equals 192. Kaminyan Kabetz. From the Kibbutz Goliath, we're all going home, and also from the minyan of Bakoil, Mikoil, Koil, because we get this from our Avos. The whole Amal and Kippus Arakia, the whole Vani Vanar Ne'echad Koi comes first through Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu, Ne'echad Koi, Avram Avinu, Ata Koin Li'olam. He's the one that got this Pach Shemen. He's the one that started this Pach Shemen. Munach B'chai Somer Shel Koin Gadol. This is Avram Avinu. But we have something deeper. We have the ability over here to tap into something the Sfas Emes says that's Noir Noirois. He says that the Yevonim were Azei Panim. They came into our Beis HaMikdash. B'shas there was a Beis HaMikdash, and they were metama the Beis HaMikdash, not Chas v'Shalom after Charbon. While there was Beis HaMikdash, so too Mida Keneged Mida. We are able to tap into the Kedusha of Beis HaMikdash, the Tahara of Beis HaMikdash, even when there's no Beis HaMikdash. It's a bechina of Vikashtem Misham Es Hashem Elokecha. From every Sham, all the Shams that we've been scattered to in the Dalet Kanfos Aretz, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will pick us up and give us this kiss and take us home. Taka with this Pach Shemen, which graduates from Avram Avinu, it winds up by Yitzchak, and it winds up by Yaakov, and it stays full no matter what you do with it. The Shachal HaTorah and other Mefarshim tell us that the Sarah Shel Esav fought like crazy to take this Pach away, and he couldn't. This was the battle all night with the Sarah Shel Esav, and he was not able to do it. Pach Echad Munach B'chai Somer Shel Kohen Gadol. This kleine lechtele, it's ours. And it's what's going to bring us home. We have to understand what is so special about this little kleine lechtele that's here 2,200 years and is going to take us all the way home. We know the Oyer of Shabbos is a much higher Oyer. We know halachically that if you only have money for one, you buy the Ner Shabbos, it's a much higher Oyer. We know the Oyer of Purim so high that we almost don't know it's there because it's so lamala from us. It's Elef Hashmini Mamish. When we get drunk, we have no idea how to connect to it. Comes the heilige little lechtele of Chanukah. And this lechtele is a small lechtele. What's so special about it? The answer is that this lechtele comes with us wherever we go. We can count on this lechtele. This lechtele represents to us when I will be with you, wherever you go, I'm going to be there. It's the Heilige Shechina that comes, Taka on Chanukah, Lamata Me'asara, it comes down, it comes to be with us. The Shechina says, Kaleini Miroishi, Kaleini Mizroi. It hurts me too. It's the Ner that says, Anoichi, Eirei De'imcha Anoichi, Olayela, wherever you go, I'm going to go down with you to Mitzrayim, I'm going to come back, I'm going to be a Kiloya Zav. I will not let you, Kiloya Zavticha, I will not let you, you will be with me all this time, no matter what you go through. All the smiles that the world has provided us with, Baruch Hashem. And the Lamata Me'asaras, as we said, Tishaka Achama, Kishetechshach, and so much more that Klal Yisrael has lived with to bring this world to its tikkun. That's what's so special about the Heilige Oyer of Chanukah. The Heilige Oyer of Chanukah reaches everybody. We know that of Nebuch Rachmana Litzlan, we're in a Holocaust, a spiritual Holocaust of Tinnik Shenishba, with all the Hidurim. 70% of people are marrying out, and we don't know what to do to stop it. But we know that where do they draw the line? If they're still connected in any little way possible, they're connected to the Heilige Eir of Chanukah. A story I heard from Rabbi of Tzimai Zolberg. There was this couple that lived in the Midwest. Taka such a couple. Mamish Tinoikish al Nishbu with all the Hidurim. And what? They had one minhag. They would go a week before Hanukkah to the drugstore and buy that little blue box of candles, Neiros Hanukkah, and they would light them together. They didn't have kids, it was just the two of them. And one year they forgot. They forgot, and it's now 2 days before Hanukkah, and it's before Waze and Google, and they don't know what to do. And the man says, I'm going on a road trip, I'm going to find them. And he goes for more than 24 hours looking in every drugstore, and finally he finds that one little box. He finds that one little box of Neiros Chanukah, and they're so excited. And that year, they were with this Mesiras Nefesh that they had, and with the simcha that they had lighting these Neiros. She gave birth, she was nifkad, she gave birth to a little baby boy. And today, 35 years later, this little boy sits in Yerushalayim and he learns Kol HaTorah Kula. He's a Kol HaTorah Kula Yid. I don't know if the Amoira who wrote Haragel B'ner Havin Banim Talmidei Chachamim, I don't know if he understood that Hichan Dvar Magiyim in our dar, in our spiritual Holocaust dar. I was also asked to speak for a few minutes to close on a very important topic, a topic that we're living with right now of Chinuch Habanim. Heilige B'nai Yissaschar says that the whole yontif of Chanukah is l'chanech habanim, and ourselves, we're also banim, Hashem Elokeinu, to be mechanech ourselves, to gula shlema, to live gula shlemadik, to live olam habadik. And I want to suggest just one little thing that can perhaps help, actually maybe two. But one little thing I want to suggest is Eza Osher Sameach B'chalkoi. Perkei Avos, who's rich? Who's Sameach B'chalkoi? I once heard Sameach B'chalkoi means Sameach B'chelek Eleka Mimal Sheyesh Boi. A person needs to rejoice, and this is really from this when you're a small child. A person needs to rejoice, knowing Neshama Shenasat Bi Tahiri, it's a shtik Eibush I have inside me. David HaMelech says, Oihel Shikein Ba'adam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put an oil moed, put a Beis HaMikdash in us. In our very neshamas, we have a Kodesh Kadashim. Famous Kasha. We move from Mesiam into Ba'alois Chasaneros, and it says that Yo'iru Shiva Saneros, Al Mul Pnei HaMenorah. And we know that one of those Neros is not Mul Pnei HaMenorah. It's what the other three are leaning into. So I heard a pshat, I don't remember from who. I heard a pshat that this Madbeya Shel Eish that we are, this one flam fire that Klal Yisrael is, Taka, there are 7 layers outside, but they are mayor into the eighth, which is the Kodesh HaKadoshim, which is where every single Yid is a chelak of Kodesh Kadoshim. Einem and Nida, truly only Cham Libi Bekirbi Ba'agigit Tivaresh. Every Yid is a piece of Beis HaMikdash, and what's Beis HaMikdash? Beis HaMikdash is Ki Beisi Beis Tefila Yikare L'chol Ha'amim. We're going to close with this story. The Heilige Yontif of crying out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Imagine this scenario. A 7th grade Rabbi comes to Echad, not from the tippy-top Gedolei Yisrael, but from one level below, Gadol B'Yisrael Be'emes. And he says, I'm just not even 30 yet. And I'm a 7th grade Rabbi. And I've been given this incredible task by the Manal of my yeshiva to tell this boy that he's no longer welcome in the school. He's not cutting it. And I don't know what to say. I'm here to seek your advice on what I should say. And this Gadol says to me, he says, what's this boy's name? He says, he's Yaakov blank. He says, no, what's his Hebrew name? What's his mother's Hebrew name? He says, I don't know. He says, so you mean you're coming to me before you were inspired for him? He says, what kind of Rebbe you are? The next stop is you go back to the Manal and you ask him for 3 weeks and you bring the name and together we'll be mispal for this boy. We'll ask the Eibishter, Baharavna, make it sweet. 4 years later, in the 11th grade, this boy made a Siyam Mishnayos, Shisha Sidrei Mishnah, Baal Peh. The koyach that we have, whether it's the Tfilas Hashla, whether it's any of the other tefillas, Eigen tefillas, Rabbi Shalom, in my own words in English and Hebrew and Yiddish and French, whatever we speak, Rabbi Shalom, I want good children. Rabbi Shalom, help my children grow up on the right path. Rabbi Shalom, what do I need to do? Tell me hadracha. Which tzaddik should I ask? This is the Yontif of Chanukah. Chanukah, we every day we see a new, fresh child. He could be 8 or 18, but every day he's brand new. And every day we have to find a way to making sure that he knows B'shvili nivra olam. Beis Hamikdash, oil shikin b'olam. I have this matbeya shel eish in me. The Rebbeinu Shalom loves me. The 3 practically, if not the most 3 important words, certainly of the 3 most important words in the Heilige Torah. B'ni b'chayri Yisrael. HaKadosh Baruch Hu speaks to Moshe Rabbeinu by this net. B'ni b'chayri Yisrael. Each one of us is a ben zachar by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, firstborn. And this is what's accessible through the Heilige light of Chanukah. So the Eibush to help from Taka, Arachti Ner L'Mashiach. It should be the year of Kibbutz Goliath. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Bakoil, Mikoil, Koil, which also adds up to 192. Should be Mashpia, this Mikabetz, Nidchei Ama Yisrael, Babinyan, Baya Shlishi, Meher Yameinu, Amen.